It's the Weekend Project on Catch-Up Sessions. My name is Mark Laguna. Weekend wrap-up number 4. Let's talk about the experience of committing to a cause that's bigger than yourself.
Catch-Up Sessions.
Fourth weekend to wrap up the first month of this year, and what better way to close but to give you a weekend project update right back referring to weekend number 1. You see, time sure does fly. Well, you can say that only when you're looking back. Otherwise, it feels like it's a drag when you're right smack in the middle of it. It depends on your flow state or whatnot. I am happy to report that I've completed my 4th consecutive weekend of starting it off with working out, Ride Revolution style. Yes, late nights notwithstanding, I continue to show up early in the morning. There was only that one time that I was almost late, but I wasn't. And I was able to finish every single ride. Yeah, it's indoor cycling with matching choreography and pumped up music for you. The real test, as we all know, is obviously keeping up the pace, even beyond January, which is a risk, as with most New Year's resolutions. However, I think I found the magic ingredients to make the Powerpuff Girls. No, it's the 3 magic ingredients that somehow work for me. Number 1, the people. Belonging to a little clique or group who you look forward to seeing, and in the same way, seems like they're just as excited to see you, is just fantastic. It cannot be replaced. Workout buddies in this case. Number 2, the pairing, which is an atomic habits principle of grouping a not-so-nice task together with something rewarding. And again, in this case, it is Saturday lazy brunch that happens right after. And then there's also number 3, the perfect fit. With indoor cycling, I found something that's not too difficult, but also not easy to do. It's, I guess, just the right amount of challenge and an element of newness to it each time a new ride instructor shows up for that early morning slot, which really appeals to me since I get bored easily with repetition. So again, that's PPP, people, pairing, and perfect fit. 3 not so magical ingredients that's quite applicable to what we'll look into this week, which again is committing to a cause that's bigger than yourself. Now, what does that mean? It's number 1, work that you can never do just on your own. Yes, there are a lot of those. And number 2, the more important part is, it may not always have a direct measurable impact to you, but you know in your heart of hearts, you are making a difference. What's it not is, say, a job, though one can argue that they have purposeful ones impacting the lives of many with lots of sacrifice and late nights. However, you get a salary out of it, so it's kind of direct, no? It's just that you signed up for something that's more sacrificial than others, I would say. It's also definitely not like when you hang out with your group of friends where you get your listening ear and the company that you needed. Although I know some of you are also sacrificial in that way. Well, my specific weekend example is joining this group called Supply Chain Management Association of the Philippines, or SCMAP. It's an organization in my work industry. So after post-workout brunch on that Saturday and another lunch in Makati, I headed straight to a strategic planning meeting, or strat plan, on a fun Saturday traffic afternoon, straight to Crown Plaza in Ortigas. So that's Makati to somewhere in Pasig. I've been sitting in one of these board meetings for a while now, and admittedly, still at a loss as to how I got in that circle. Thank you, P&G, I guess. But like with most things that are new to me, after a bout of hesitation, I just ended up showing up. And so we go back to the 3-piece assessment that we will apply here. Number 1, the people. It actually took me a while to warm up to the folks because it's a different generation. I'm one of the younger ones and definitely the most inexperienced in the whole lot. They're super nice, but you know how it is with different wavelengths? I eventually got to adjust, to my credit, after like 10 meetings. Number 2, the pairing. This I'm still in the process of figuring out. But something I like that goes well with it, well, most meetings have socials time, like the planning session, ended with an eat-all-you-can buffet over at 7-something. It's inside that hotel. So I suppose that treat will do. And simple things like free merch. So I remember I got an umbrella and a shirt. And also that same weekend, they handed out office jackets. So it's very college org. And lastly, the 3rd P, the perfect fit. Sitting the meetings is the easy part. It's following through with events and actually contributing uniquely is where it gets blurry for me personally. You see, with this, you need a sweet spot of your skills matching a specific need. And, when that arises, it's like you're meant to be where you are, but you always need to find that. I feel like I've mostly been effective in lending my time and so-called talents in hosting for the events, as well as at least leveraging the network that I have and bridging some connections, but that's pretty much it, at least so far. Now, come to think of it, why would you say yes to a cause bigger than yourself? If you don't believe in the deepest recesses of your heart that you're actually created for something more than just having to answer the question, what's in it for me? And while we all have our needs and we need them to be filled, I'm convinced that each one of us is purposefully designed for a higher call where it's not just about me. The exciting bit here is the fact that there are tons of ways that you can give yourself to something bigger than yourself and fully commit. I think that's the more important part of it. It could be volunteer work for something you're passionate about. Like I know a friend who volunteers in a pet shelter. She lends her time there. She's having to get herself like anti-rabies vaccines just so she can do the task of bathing pets, walking them so that they are adoption ready. Hi Anne, that's you. I'm describing you. Or you can be signing up to support causes and lend your money or give money essentially for education, like what they do for UNICEF and World Vision. I know it can get awkward being approached in those booths in the malls and the airports. I do my fair share of trying to evade them, but again, whatever calls you into doing, lending, giving, then that could be it. Or it could be in much, much simpler ways, like showing kindness to those people who you don't usually interact with, or going out of your way to actually see people and make them feel like you actually see them beyond the job description of what they're doing. Say the guards or the people in the cafeteria, that's not who they are. They're actual real life people living lives beyond the workplace. So yeah, extend a bit of kindness even though there's little return for you to do so. Let me wrap this up with this question then. Where is a need that you can fill? Doesn't have to be grand. Don't even look too far. If you don't know, I recommend you ask. I've been asking the same for a while, and I've been praying for opportunities to reveal themselves. The harder part is saying yes to them and doing so wholeheartedly. I'd love to hear yours. I'll open up the same question on Instagram at Catch-Up Sessions, where you can comment and take a look at the other sessions too while you're there. This is now uploaded on YouTube if you feel like listening through that, instead of Spotify or Apple Podcast or wherever else you are enjoying listening to this tidbit. Thank you so much for creating space in your day to listen. I'll catch you back next time here on Catch-Up Sessions Weekend Project.